Welcome to the Dwig America podcast. And now your host, Todd Dwiggins.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening to the Dwig America podcast. Hello and welcome to the Dwig America podcast. I am your host, Todd Dwiggins, coming to you from the beautiful Dwig America studios here in lovely Central Texas. So today I thought I would talk about a few of the pros and cons of military life. If you don't know, we are a military family, and it's not me in the military, let's just put it that way, which brings a whole different set of issues maybe we can talk about. But anyway, here we go. Some pros and cons. So the number one pro, the one thing that interested our family in the military was the healthcare. So healthcare is taken care of in the military for your family, and that is certainly a big plus, a big pro. So you go in and you get your medicine, or you get your checkup, or an MRI or whatever, and you show them your card, they scan it. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. You don't get a bill later. It's covered. That is awesome. Now, some of the cons with that is you don't have I don't feel like the care is as personal. It doesn't feel like, hey, this is my doctor. You know, we're going to have a long-term relationship. It's kind of like, hi, how are you? Very informal. And so that's something I think is can't be overlooked. I think the value of having a doctor that you have a long-term sort of relationship, they're looking over your health, is a big bonus if you're not in the military, and you can have that sort of relationship between doctors and patients. So that's a con. Also, it's kind of annoying if you need to if you have a prescription and anyone in your family has a prescription that's a long-lasting, recurring prescription. When you run out, you contact them, hey, I need a refill. And every time it's like, oh yeah, we need to set up an appointment. And it's kind of a pain, kind of a nuisance, not as easy as in the private sector. So that's some cons. But then again, you're not paying for it. So there's the opposite way to look at it. So there's a pro and a con. Another pro to the military is you get to live in different places. Now, I'm an adventuresome person. I think since I left high school, I don't think I've lived any place for averaging more than 2 years at a time. So I am used to moving around a lot, and I like it. I get a little antsy after a couple of years, like, let's move, let's do something different. That's just me. So that's a pro. You get to see different places. We've only been to Texas so far, and I really like Texas. In fact, I'm kind of really becoming attached to it. So this may be the first move that will be really hard, but that's still a couple of years down the road, probably for us. Anyway, that's a pro if you like that. A con, obviously, is that you're moving constantly. You're not necessarily near family. You don't get to pick necessarily where you want to live. But I find that a lot of people today with careers, they have to move also. And it's not much different, I think, anymore than most people. I think 20, 30 years ago, maybe this would be more unusual. Like, oh, you move around a lot. But everywhere I've lived, there's been people move in, move out within the same 2-3 years. And they are not in the military. It's just with their careers. So you can call that a con, or you can just say, well, it's just like anyone else's job. Also, a plus of that is that you get if you stay in the military for 20 years and retire in the military, you're basically spending 20 years looking around. Hey, where do we want to retire? Where did we like? I'm, again, a big fan so far of Texas. It's really hot in the summer, I'll say that. But that's why you can go somewhere else for the summer for vacation, especially when you retire. A third pro is this one's more fun. So let's see if I can get this little sound clip on here. Hold one moment. So if you can hear that, that is the sound of artillery in the background. Literally can shake your whole house, the windows and doors. Deep boom, and it's really cool. I think that is a positive. I don't think you get to have that experience anywhere else you live, and probably not even every military base. But here, Central Texas, if you like booms, you will get your booms here in Texas. One of the coolest ones is when they had the Air Force fly some F-16s down to the range here, and they dropped like 1,500-pound bombs, and those things really rattled the house, and it was super cool. So they'll have in the newspaper or in television say, hey, by the way, just so you know, today, tomorrow, this week, you'll be hearing a lot of booms, because the first week I was here, I heard it, and I was like, what is going on? I thought it sounded like someone dropping one of those giant, like trash containers, those huge ones that are behind businesses. If you've ever heard those, when they drop them down, they kind of make that booming sound. It kind of sounded like that right outside my front door. And I thought, what's going on? So I asked my neighbor, what's going on? Is there construction around here? And they're like, no, that's artillery from the post. So that was really cool. So I think it's a plus. So that's just me. Negative is if you don't like that sort of thing, then, you're not going to enjoy that. You're not going to enjoy that so much. Okay, the fourth positive, again, has to do with sort of that moving around sort of theme. So your kids are going to get to know a lot of different people and kind of get a diverse group of friends. And it's really cool that they get to do that. The con to that is your friends move away, you move away. But again, the pro to that is you have friends across the country. When we lived in Milwaukee, we had a lot of med school friends, and they have moved around the country. And we have friends from coast to coast, literally, and now we have military friends coast to coast. So that's really cool, and I like that a lot. But again, the con is that, yeah, your good friends will move away. But again, I find that happens anywhere else I've lived. You make good friends, jobs and such take them away. So whether that's a military issue or just life in general anymore, take it as you will. That is just one of my pros and cons. Another pro is that because they realize the sacrifice that soldiers and their families make, they have lots of cool things for you to see and experience. I've seen Gary Sinise and the Lieutenant Dan Band a couple of times. They've had singers, one from American Idol, Philip Phillips, came and sang on post for the families at 4th of July. They always have things like that. They have athletes come and do meet and greets, and they'll let you know, hey, they're going to be on post at this place at a certain time, and you can go and meet them. It's really, that's cool. I would say a con would be that though they offer a lot of activities for families and for kids, a lot of stuff you have to sign up for and go through different offices. And if you think the DMV is bad, wow. This is the only thing I can really knock about how the Army does things. If they want to go to war, they'll go to war tomorrow. They'll go to war right now. As soon as you say, let's go, they're ready. But man, to get like paperwork process for, I don't know, soldiers, but families, it is arduous. You will go in multiple times and they'll say, we need this paper, we need this signature, we need this ID, there's always something they need. And it's frustrating that you don't just go in there, or before you even go there, you can't look up and find, they say you can, but everyone I've talked to has the same problem. You think you have everything you need, then you go and find out, oh, no, you don't. So sometimes you get there, you're ready to go, and they'll say, okay, we need your sponsor here, which would be the soldier themselves. And so you're like, okay, well, they're actually at work. Can they come in at 5? Oh, no, we close at 5. So that sort of thing. I knew there would be an issue the first time I went into one of the offices, and they had a sign that said that if you swear or cause a scene, they will ask you to leave. They will escort you out. So I was like, if they're putting warning signs that if you get mad or curse or cause a scene, then they're obviously doing something that makes people want to get angry and curse and cause a scene. So I was like, okay, here we go. So anyway, but for the most part, the Army, it's a good way of life, good lifestyle, good culture. For the most part, those things are just kind of annoyances, and you deal with them. But the positives are really positive, so they outweigh the negatives by far. So that's it. That's my positives and negatives of military life, military family life. I could go way more in depth. There's families that have been in this a lot longer that have way more experience. They could probably expound on it more. I'll expound on it as we get, again, as a family, we get more experience. Hey, I think I just heard another artillery burst in the background. Anyway, thanks for listening to today's Dwig America podcast. This is my second one this week, making up for not really doing one last week. If you enjoyed it, have any questions, comments, complaints, let me know at dwigamerica@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, so long, everybody.